Start the day, open your laptop, and instantly you're hit with it. The wall of tabs. Email, chat, project trackers, documents, all competing for your attention at the exact same time. Right now, you are doing the job that software is supposed to do. You act as the human bridge between all these disconnected apps, constantly copying a message from here, pasting a link over there, and trying to remember what you were doing in the first place. This mental leapfrogging has a measurable cost. Research shows it takes about 23 minutes to fully refocus after switching your attention between different apps. When you look at a standard 8-hour workday, you lose over 4 hours just reorienting your brain to new screens. Imagine if you never had to hunt down a document or chase a scattered thread again. Imagine if instead of you going to your apps came to you. Bouncing between a dozen rigid interfaces drains your mental energy before you even begin your actual tasks. It puts you at the mercy of your software, rather than letting you control how you want to work. Enter the spatial workspace. Picture a massive, calm, blank digital whiteboard. No folders, no rigid lists, and definitely no claustrophobic browser tabs. Just pure, open space where you can arrange your thoughts exactly how you see them in your head. On this board, you bring in vistas. These are dedicated AI assistants with specific roles, one to plan your week, another as your writing partner, and a third managing client proposals. Each of these AI assistants connects directly and securely to the tools you already use, like your email inbox, team chat, and calendar. It reaches into those apps, reads what matters, and pulls that data right back to your board. You don't have to click through complex menus to make this happen. You just talk to your AI assistant using normal, everyday words, asking it to gather the things you need. By handing the busy work of finding and organizing information over to the AI, your brain gets to do what it actually does best: thinking, creating, and solving problems. Let's look at how this plays out when you sit down at your desk with your morning coffee. You need to figure out what needs your attention today. Instead of opening 6 different tabs, you open your blank canvas and type one sentence: "Set up my morning briefing." Immediately, your AI checks your inbox, filters your unread emails, and builds a neat triage list right on the board. At the exact same time, it scans your calendar and maps out your meetings for the day, placing them side by side with your emails. Finally, it checks your team chat channels and drops in the latest updates. You now have a complete, unified view of your morning. These blocks are fully functional, interactive tools. You can reply to an email, check off a task, or join a meeting directly from the canvas, and those changes sync back to your original apps instantly. A routine that usually takes 40 minutes of clicking, searching, and context switching is completely finished in about 30 seconds. Software has spent decades forcing our ideas into rigid lists and nested folders, but the human mind does not think in folders. We think spatially, connecting ideas, images, and context all at once. This is why your AI can instantly build a completely different setup for your next task. If you're planning a trip, it generates a board with maps, itineraries, and reference images, letting you spread everything out to see the big picture. Or if you're taking on a new freelance client, you can ask your AI to assemble a fresh workspace from scratch, complete with an invoice tracker and project timelines and brand asset zones. Because you can generate the exact interface you need on the fly, you no longer have to buy a dozen different single-purpose apps. Your canvas simply becomes whatever tool you need it to be in that moment. True productivity doesn't come from forcing yourself to think the way your software wants you to think. It comes from making your software adapt to the way your mind naturally works. It is time to close the tabs, open your canvas, and start building your command center. Try Visona for free today.